Now couple C has $21,120 times 3 years, which equals $63,360 cash in the bank. Should women be financially responsible in a relationship or a marriage? Hi, my name is Raulh of Please Act Right, and I met a woman who said that women should not pay bills or be financially responsible within a marriage or a relationship. They say that's the husband's job. For all the women out there who believe this video is for you. There's this young lady that I worked with, and I worked with her for a while, and we never spent any time together. She was nice looking, and she showed interest in me, and I was interested in her. And I often wondered, what's going on with this woman? Somebody told me that she was a spendthrift. You know, that woman who spends money, she spends all her money on a whole bunch of nonsense, you know, like expensive purses and shoes and boots, you know, everything had to have a label to it. Now I know better. I heed to rumors, but I don't believe them. But I'll take the time out to check the person out for myself. So one day we just happened to be leaving work at the same time, and it was a long walk to the parking lot, so we had a little bit of time to talk. And she opened up by saying, you know what, we've been working together all these years and we've never been together, you know, like away from the job. We should get together and hang out sometime. Now I was cool with that, but first, that rumor that I was hearing that she was bad with money, I need to check this woman out first. So I started the conversation off asking her, did she want to get married? And she said yes. Then I asked her, how do you feel like money should be handled in a marriage, you know, between a husband and a wife? And she said, well, the husband pays all the bills. So I was like, okay, and what's supposed to happen with your $90,000 a year? And her answer was,
whatever I want to do with it.
Okay, now, for a 45-year-old woman, and me being at the time about 50 years old, was like, that's not the right answer. Okay, so I asked her again, but I said, let me ask her a different way. I said, okay, if your husband's paying all the bills, what happens to every dollar of your money? What formula are you doing? What are you doing with it? And she answered the same way, and she looked at me like, I just answered you.
Whatever I want to do with it.
Now I'm having a severe problem with this woman answering whatever I want to do with it. Especially after I heard the rumors that all she does with her money is spend it on nonsense. Now let me break this $90,000 down to you into monthly income. We're talking approximately $4,400 a month. That's after taxes. This is cash money in hand. Ladies, you should have two formulas for the handling of your money. You should have one formula for when you're single, and that's getting out of debt, whether you want to get married or not. But if you want to get married, the second formula should be how much money you're going to save while your husband is paying all the bills. Understand that a wife's job is to back up her husband, to be a helpmeet to her husband. This way, if something happens to his income, you got something saved to say, hey, baby, don't worry about it. I got us covered. It's basically called an emergency fund, because in most instances, the husband might not make enough money where he can pay all the bills and build an emergency fund too. So the wife, if she's working and she's not paying any bills, that's what she should be doing. Now, ladies, even if your husband says, oh, baby, don't worry about it. I'll pay all the bills. You can do whatever you want to with your money. You still should be smart enough to understand that you should put some of your money away just in case something goes wrong. Now, the funny part was, when I told her all of this, she looked at me like I was crazy and said,
why am I saving money? That's the husband's job.
This was coming from a 45-year-old grown-ass woman. Now, before you women jump in on me in the comments section talking about what's wrong with buying purses and shoes, there's nothing wrong with buying it as long as you're being financially responsible. And if you're spending all your money, paying all your bills, and then you take everything that's left over and you got a closet full of Prada and Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that stuff, and you're broke, is that being financially responsible? No. Now, if you have all your debt paid off and you got a lot of money left over and you want to go out and buy that stuff, by all means, knock yourself out. You deserve it. You can afford it. But if you got a closet full of all that crap and you don't have more money in the bank than you have in your closet, something's wrong. Especially if you over 40 years old. You should know better. You should have been done with that nonsense in your mind when you was in your mid-30s. So when I expressed to her, the chances of her finding a man of value and who values the dollar and understands how money works, marrying her and allowing her to blow all of her income on a bunch of nonsense was slim to none. And her response was,
well, I'm not gonna settle.
She actually think it's settling by putting some of her money into their joint account. I'm trying to figure that part out. So I just walked away from it, got in my car, and went home. Now, for you ladies out there who are looking for a good, God-fearing, financially responsible man, check out this Bible verse. It's Genesis 41:29 through 31. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after the 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be grievous. Loosely interpreted, in the 7 good years, you should always put back something for the 7 years of famine. All that simply means is, you've heard it before, save something for a rainy day. Here's the part that I love. Before the Bible verse, I read it. The Bible verses itself, I read it. And I read the Bible verses after it. Nowhere, before, middle, or between, did it say that you are excused from this just because you're wife. You being wifey does not excuse you from being financially responsible. Both the husband and the wife should be financially responsible in putting something away in case something happens. This is true even if you live by yourself. I mean, come on, this is common sense. So since she feels like she'll be settling if she marries a man who requires her to be financially responsible, and for all the women out there watching this who think so too, let me give you a formula of 3 different couples who handles money 3 different ways. Couple A, that's her, the couple that handles money the way she says they should handle it. Couple B, where they put their money together. And couple C, where one pays the bills and the other one saves for the rainy day. Now I'm going to use the income that she and I were making at the time to show you how much money she would be wasting if we did it her way. Couple A, her and her husband make $4,400 per month each. That's $8,800 coming into their household. He pays all the bills, and let's say the monthly debt is $3,000 including everything. That leaves him with $1,400 left over. Now don't you think he's going to want to buy some stuff for himself? And if he does, it's not going to be much money left over. Couple B, each of them earns $4,400 a month. That's $8,800 a month coming into their household, and each of them put $2,200 in their joint checking account. There would be $4,400 in the account to pay the monthly bills. Their monthly debt is the same as the other couple, say $3,000. So $4,400 minus $3,000, $1,400 left over. Now in simple math, if she has $4,400 and puts half of it into the account, that leaves her with $2,200 left over. All the bills are paid from the joint account, so she can do whatever she wants to do with it. Now this formula is set up so that all the bills are paid and the $1,400 a month is saved. By the end of the first year of marriage, couple B would have $16,800 in the bank, cash. That also means that she has $26,400 to blow on complete nonsense. Now let's be real. There are people out there who don't have $2,200 a month coming into their household, let alone $2,200 left over to spend on nonsense. And she thinks this would be settling. Sign me up. Now let's go to couple C. Couple C each make $4,400 a month. That's $8,800 a month coming into their household. He pays all the bills, that equals $3,000, and she saves 40% of her income every month. By the end of the first year, they will have $21,120 cash in the bank. And she thinks this would be settling. Sign me up. So let's say 3 years go by, and each one of them have a famine happen. Let's just say all 3 of those couples have a car accident, and each one of them are left where they cannot work for an entire year. Couple A, her and her husband, more than likely have no money. Why? Because he spent all his money paying all the bills, and the $1,000 he had left over, he was probably buying stuff, so there was nothing left over. She spent all her money on nonsense, so they have nothing. Now, for all of you ladies thinking like her, I want you to think about this. $8,800 a month coming into their household the way she wants it structured. Okay? And over 3 years, that would be $316,800 coming through their household in 3 years. Then a famine happens like this and they didn't do like the Bible said and warned them to save some money, and now they lose everything. Within 3 months, the repo man is out there repoing their cars and there's a foreclosure notice on their house. Now they got to resort to moving in with family members or friends or whatever. You know how stupid that looks to have that much money coming in and then something happens 3 years later and you have nothing? Couple B has $16,800 per year times 3 years, which equals $50,400 cash in the bank. They're ready for a famine. Now couple C has $21,120 times 3 years, which equals $63,360 cash in the bank, ready for a famine. Now ladies, truthfully, which couple would you want to be? Now of course all of you all are going to say you want to be couple C, the one that had the most money in the bank. But the truth of the matter is, women like the one that I'm talking about, they don't want to put any of the sacrifice in. They want the husband to do all the saving and all the bill paying and everything financially. And honestly, is that really fair? Because to me, that's not a marriage and it's completely selfish. Truth be told, following her financial scenario, she'd be nothing but a liability to him. Think about it, ladies. If your husband was paying all the bills and you were saving 40% of your income, how much money were you spending when you was living by yourself? Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're only coughing up 40% of your income, there's two things that's happening here. Number one, where's your husband's money going? The money that he's paying on all these bills, you know, the mortgage and the light and the gas and all that stuff. Where is his money going? It's going away. He doesn't get that money back from those companies. Two, where is your money going? Right there in the joint savings account. It's not going anywhere. You can see it. All you gotta do is pull up the statement online and look at the bank account. And you have 60% left over to do whatever it is that you want to do with it. So $4,400 times 60% that's left over, let me do calculating. That's $2,610 a month times 12 months, which equals $31,680 a year times 3 years, which is $95,040. I mean, seriously, ladies, how much more crap do you need to buy? And she thinks this would be settling. Sign me up. Chances are you didn't have anywhere near that much money when you lived by yourself and you was paying your bills by yourself. But now, not only do you have money in the bank and your husband's paying all the bills, you have a husband. Somebody to come home to, somebody to go on trips with, somebody to share the good times and the bad times with, somebody to cuddle up and watch TV on that cold Saturday night with. All the while, women like her are doing nothing but giving all of her wealth back to them. Who is them? The companies that sell these overpriced purses and shoes and boots and dresses. Spending $1,200 on a purse that cost that company, what, $45 to make? You work hard all week and then you turn around and give all your money back to them. That doesn't make any sense. You should never have more of this crap in your house than you do in the bank. If you do, you are not ready to get married. Why? Because your priorities are backwards. Now, if you disagree and you still feel like you should get married, by all means, go ahead and do so. But please do us a favor. Marry a man that is just as irresponsible as you. Because men like me, woke men, that means men who understand the value of money and the trap that they set for us to give it all back, we're not marrying women who give it all back to them. No, you are not going to give our wealth to them. Ain't finna happen. Nope. Nope. And we're not taking your word for it either. We want to see bank statements. We want to see your FICO score. We want to see your credit statement. We want to see bank account. We want to see it all. Hell, we even want to visit your house and see how many clothes you got in your closet and see if you still got price tags on half of them that's hanging in there. And you're still out buying that crap. Now, I know in this scenario, most people don't make the amount of money that she and I was making, but I wanted to use that as a point to show you how much money she was planning to waste by having a marriage where the husband pays all the bills and she wastes it all on a bunch of nonsense. We're talking about a bunch of stuff that's going to end up in the garbage. If you don't believe me, where was the shoes that you was wearing 10 years ago, 7 years ago? Where's the dress you was wearing 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago? It's either at the Goodwill, and which is probably in the garbage, or it's in the garbage because that's where you threw it, or it's in the back of your closet somewhere and eventually it's going to end up in the garbage. So if a famine comes and you spent all your money on that crap, where's your money? Gone. And I don't care how good you can cook, there's no way in the world you're gonna make a leather purse taste good or give your body nutritional value. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think, ladies. I'm really interested, and you men too. I want to know your thoughts on the subject of how money should be handled in a marriage. This is your Uncle Raul. Somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me.